And that's, again, what you heard and what I heard and whatever else, where Shedeur Sanders didn't put his best foot forward, didn't put the effort there to even put his best foot forward. So that was the issue.
Listen up, Shedeur Sanders fans, because what just happened at Browns training camp on day 4 is absolutely insane. While Kenny Pickett is now dealing with a hamstring injury that has him completely sidelined, Shedeur just went out there and threw 3 touchdowns on 11 attempts. And I'm talking surgical precision here, guys. According to the latest reports from ESPN's Adam Schefter and Yahoo Sports, Pickett suffered this hamstring injury Saturday and is expected to miss significant time, which means the door just swung wide open for our boy Shedeur. But here's the crazy part that's got me fired up. Even after this dominant performance where he completed 8 of 11 passes with 0 interceptions, they're still not giving him first-team reps. I mean, what more does this kid have to do? And if you think that's the wildest part of this story, wait until I tell you about the equipment staff controversy and the front office politics that might be working against him. This is about to get real, so stick around because we're diving deep into why Shedeur Sanders might already be QB1 material, even though Cleveland won't admit it yet. You guys, I need to be real with you right now. As someone who's been following Shedeur Sanders since his Jackson State days, what I witnessed on day 4 of Browns training camp wasn't just good, it was a statement. And with Kenny Pickett now sidelined with what sources are calling a potentially serious hamstring injury, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, who broke the news just hours ago, the timing couldn't be more perfect for Shedeur to prove he belongs. Let me paint you the picture of what actually went down, because the national media is barely covering this, and it's honestly ridiculous. On day 4, while everyone was focused on Joe Flacco's boring checkdowns and Dylan Gabriel's rollout scrambles, Shedeur Sanders was out there dealing absolute dimes. 8 completions on 11 attempts, 3 touchdowns, and not a single excuse left for the doubters. According to Yahoo Sports' latest training camp updates from just 34 minutes ago, Shedeur finished 8 of 11 with 3 touchdowns while working with the second team in Red Zone 11 on 11s. Compare that to the other guys. Joe Flacco went 4 of 8, and Dylan Gabriel went 8 of 15 with just 1 touchdown. But here's what's got me heated, and I know you guys feel the same way. Despite this incredible performance, Kevin Stefanski and the Browns coaching staff are still not giving Shedeur first-team reps. According to Fox News Sports, who reported yesterday that Sanders is getting most of his work with the third stringers, this kid is literally being held back by politics, not performance, from what I've seen in the footage and reports coming out of Berea. Shedeur's first touchdown was a thing of beauty. He locked in and floated a perfect ball to rookie wide receiver Luke Floria, leading him just inside the 5-yard line, where Floria caught it in stride and walked into the end zone. That throw wasn't flashy, it was surgical. And if you noticed, from the clips, Shedeur looked so comfortable in the pocket, like he's been there before, you know what I mean. Then came the strike to Deontay Johnson in the back of the end zone. 2 defenders draped all over the veteran receiver, but Shedeur had the guts and the accuracy to thread the needle and hit his man right in the numbers. That's the kind of throw that separates real quarterbacks from guys just trying to manage a game. Finally, there was that middle-of-the-field rope to Cade McDonald. Quick read, quick trigger, touchdown.
And that's just, again, what you heard and what I heard and whatever else, where Shedeur Sanders didn't put his best foot forward, didn't put the effort there to even put his best foot forward. So that was the issue.
That's 3 different types of scoring. Plays that showcase the full scope of his talent. But let me tell you what's really going on behind the scenes, because this isn't just about football anymore. According to Dogs by Nature, who's been covering this extensively, we are no closer to knowing who will take the starting quarterback spot. Although Shedeur Sanders hasn't been getting reps with the first team, but he had some highlights on Saturday. That's code for the politics are getting in the way of common sense. And you know what's even crazier? Just days before this breakout performance, according to Athlon Sports, who reported on what they called the peculiar detail about Shedeur's camp experience, this man was literally throwing passes to equipment staff in the middle of NFL training camp. I'm not making this up. While Kenny Pickett got a carousel of Cleveland's top weapons and Dylan Gabriel took first-team reps against full defensive units, Shedeur was on the sideline tossing passes to guys in hoodies. Ball boys, trainers, assistant, equipment managers. This wasn't some one-off drill either. Multiple periods were caught on camera and broadcasted across social media, like some humiliating blooper reel. Fans were confused, critics were disgusted, and for Shedeur, it was just another day of being disrespected. But you know what separates him from every other name on that depth chart? His response. "It doesn't faze me," he told reporters, according to Fox News. "You gotta understand, we came all the way from HBCU to Power 5, and now we're here." That's not just composure, guys. That's a reminder that Shedeur Sanders has always had to climb uphill. From being doubted at Jackson State, to questioned at Colorado, and now marginalized in Cleveland. This isn't new territory for him. This is fuel. And despite all that humiliation, he stepped onto the field on day 4 and tossed 3 touchdowns to real receivers against real defenders with real pressure in his face. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and I think you guys need to hear this. According to Pro Football Network, who just reported yesterday on Kevin Stefanski's honest update about Shedeur's development, the head coach is being diplomatic about the situation. But let's read between the lines here. When your rookie quarterback is outperforming everyone and you're still not giving him a shot with the first team, that's not about development. That's about something else entirely. And that something else might be front office politics. Multiple reports have made it clear that Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, was the driving force behind drafting Shedeur. According to CBS Sports, who reported just 2 days ago on the Browns QB battle, Shedeur is accepting his underdog role even with limited first-team reps. But why should he have to be the underdog when he's clearly the most talented quarterback on the roster? I could be wrong about this, but from what I've seen and from what sources around the league are saying, GM Andrew Berry wasn't fully on board with the Shedeur pick. Berry preferred Dillon Gabriel, a high-effort, low-profile grinder, who doesn't come with a spotlight or a famous last name. Gabriel fits the mold that front offices love. Shedeur redefines it, and that might be the real problem here. Let me ask you guys something, and let me know what you think in the comments. How does a quarterback go 8 for 11 with 3 touchdowns and still not see first-team reps? That's the mystery hanging over Cleveland like a storm cloud. The Browns keep saying this is an open competition, yet Shedeur Sanders is stuck throwing to second-team receivers while guys who can't stay healthy rotate with the starters. And speaking of staying healthy, let's talk about this Kenny Pickett situation that just broke. According to Adam Schefter's report from ESPN, Browns QB Kenny Pickett injured his hamstring near the end of Saturday's practice and is expected to reevaluate the injury later this week. Yahoo Sports confirmed that his absence will reshape the distribution of reps for Flacco, Gabriel, and Sanders. Here's my take, and tell me if I'm crazy. This injury might be the best thing that could happen for Shedeur's chances. Not because I want anyone to get hurt, but because it forces the coaching staff's hand. They can't keep pretending this is about veteran leadership when their veterans are either getting injured or throwing checkdowns. From what we're hearing from Cleveland Browns beat reporters, Pickett was actually having a decent camp before this injury. But decent doesn't win you starting jobs in the NFL. Excellence does. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is the only quarterback in that building showing excellent decision-making, arm talent, and pocket presence consistently. You know what's really frustrating me about this whole situation? The double standard is so obvious it hurts. When Dillon Gabriel makes a good throw, the media talks about his gritty leadership. When Joe Flacco manages a drive, they praise his veteran savvy. But when Shedeur Sanders throws 3 touchdowns in one practice, it's barely a footnote in the camp reports. According to Dogs by Nature, who called one of Shedeur's throws a play of the day candidate, he's making these throws while working against backups. Think about that for a second. This man is making NFL-caliber throws to third-string receivers against backup defenders, and somehow that's supposed to count less than first-stringers throwing safe passes to Pro Bowl targets. The fans are starting to see through this charade too. Social media exploded after day 4, not from media outlets, but from Browns fans who've had enough of the politics. Comments flooded Twitter, Instagram, and even the Browns' official posts. QB1 is right there, and y'all still playing politics. Start the kid. He's him. Shedeur is outplaying everyone, and they're still keeping him with the 2s. And that's what gives me hope, you guys. Because at the end of the day, talent wins out. It might take longer than it should. It might require more proof than anyone else has to provide. But eventually, the cream rises to the top. And from what I've seen, Shedeur Sanders isn't just cream. He's the whole damn dairy farm. Let me tell you what I think happens next and I want to hear your predictions in the comments. With Pickett sidelined, according to Sports Illustrated, who reported that 3-year veteran Kenny Pickett suffered a hamstring injury toward the end of the team's opening week of training camp, the Browns have no choice but to give more reps to their remaining quarterbacks. That means more opportunities for Shedeur to show what he can do. Here's the thing about hamstring injuries for quarterbacks. They're not something you rush back from. The last thing you want is to re-aggravate it and miss significant regular season time. So whether the Browns want to admit it or not, they're probably looking at several weeks without their supposed veteran option. That opens the door for Shedeur to do what he's always done, prove the doubters wrong. And honestly, after watching him handle the equipment staff situation with such class, after seeing him throw 3 touchdowns with backups, after witnessing his poise under pressure that most rookies don't have, I'm more convinced than ever that this kid is ready right now. From what I've seen of his mechanics, his decision-making, and his leadership, Shedeur Sanders doesn't need more development time. He needs more opportunities. And maybe, just maybe, Kenny Pickett's injury forces Cleveland to give him those opportunities. But here's what worries me, and I'll be honest with you guys. Kevin Stefanski has shown he's willing to stick with safe choices even when better options are staring him in the face. According to Pro Football Network's latest report, Stefanski is focusing on Shedeur's development rather than his production. That's coach speak for, we're not ready to admit we might have found our franchise quarterback in the 5th round. The preseason is coming up fast, and that's where we'll really see what this coaching staff is made of. Are they going to give Shedeur meaningful snaps with quality receivers? Are they going to let him show what he can do against real competition? Or are they going to stick with the political safe play and keep trotting out veterans who've already shown their ceiling? I think the answer to those questions will tell us everything we need to know about whether the Browns are serious about winning or just serious about not rocking the boat. Because right now, they have a potential franchise quarterback sitting on their bench, throwing touchdowns to equipment managers while lesser talents get the red carpet treatment. What do you guys think about all this? Are you as frustrated as I am with how they're handling Shedeur? Do you think Pickett's injury changes everything? Or will they find another excuse to keep our boy on the sideline? Let me know in the comments, because honestly, I need to hear from fellow Shedeur believers right now. At the end of the day, talent doesn't lie. Film doesn't lie. And from what we've seen in these 4 days of camp, Shedeur Sanders has shown more pure quarterback ability than anyone else in that building. The question isn't whether he's ready, it's whether Cleveland is ready for him. Look, I've been covering football for years, and I've seen plenty of talented players get buried by politics and poor decision-making. But there's something different about Shedeur Sanders. Maybe it's the way he carries himself, maybe it's the precision of his throws, or maybe it's just that quiet confidence that tells you he knows he belongs. Whatever it is, I'm convinced we're watching the early chapters of something special. And while it's frustrating to see him have to prove himself over and over again, I genuinely believe that adversity is only making him stronger. So here's what I need from you guys. Keep supporting Shedeur, keep demanding that he gets fair opportunities, and keep spreading the word about what we're witnessing. Because the more attention this gets, the harder it becomes for Cleveland to ignore what's right in front of them. That if you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all things Shedeur Sanders and Browns quarterback drama, smash that like button and hit subscribe. We're going to be covering every practice, every rep, and every development until this kid gets the respect he deserves. And trust me, when he finally gets his shot, you're going to want to be here for it. I'll see you in the next one.